Azteca is a unique family coaster at La Pal. This was built by Soke, a manufacturer you probably haven't encountered unless you've visited France. How does this coaster ride? Find out in this review. Azteca originally opened in 2003, but has undergone a few different changes. Most notably, before the 2021 season, OCEM retracked a majority of the layout. But this was not just a one-to-one retrack. Some banking was adjusted to provide a more comfortable ride. And I am pleased to say the experience was mostly smooth when I rode it last year. In terms of tracking, the only imperfection was a noticeable jolt at the bottom of the first drop. Then the recently added magnetic brakes abruptly slow the vehicle down, much more so than the older brakes, so you want to brace yourself for these. The coaster also received new trains. These were different in two ways. One, they were quieter, which is an important consideration for this park considering it doubles as a zoo and has a lot of animals. Two, they now feature individual T-shaped lap bars, which are much more secure. The original trains had shared lap bars in each row. This meant the restraints would stop at the bigger rider, so they would loosely fit on kids and smaller guests. Azteca is a bit of an elusive coaster. The layout is tucked among the trees, so only a few elements are visible. It also doesn't help that the coaster has tan track and green supports, allowing it to further blend in with the trees. Then I do like the stonework on the station, as it looks like something from an ancient temple. And I like how the trains look. All three trains have a different color, then each has an Aztec face in the front and hieroglyphics on the side. These trains do not have the best capacity though. Each holds just 8 riders, as they have 2 cars and each car is 2 rows of 2. As a result, this usually is one of the longer queues in the park. On a busy day, the wait will hover around the 30 to 45 minute mark. At the end of the queue, seating is on a first-come basis. There are a few ways to avoid the longest waits though. First, this coaster, like many at La Pal, has a single rider line. I didn't know about these prior to my visit, but they were a huge time saver. I did not see many people using them, and that may be due to the lack of signage. There often was just a small sign at the end of the exit ramp, but if you knew about them, they were a massive help. I never had to wait more than 5 minutes for Azteca using the single rider line. Second, this coaster is part of the park's Rapid Sensations Skip the Line Pass. For €20 per person, you can skip the line at each major attraction once. With Azteca, you go right up the exit, often boarding the next train. From what I saw, they typically will put people with this pass in the very back row. The forces felt identical across the train, so I had no preference where I sat anyway. Third, head here later in the day. A lot of queues at this park halved during the final 1 or 2 hours. I do not recommend going to Azteca first thing in the morning though. It is the closest coaster to the main entrance, so a lot of people start their day off with it. You will be far more efficient heading towards the major rides deeper in the park if you arrive at opening. Once secured, you turn out of the station and ascend the 56-foot or 17-meter tall lift hill. Once at the top, you have a high leftward spiral. This offers okay laterals at the start, but it more or less just serves as a pre-drop. This leads to the ride's largest drop. It is a curved, rightward drop back down to ground level. There's a decent lateral kink on the entry, then the pullout has solid positive Gs. There is also that aforementioned bump though. You then fly through a brief tunnel and charge through an angled, elevated helix. The high point is slow, but the low point offers a good blast of positive Gs. You then rise upwards. This bleeds off a lot of speed, but those in front will get a smidge of airtime here. The train then cruises through a mid-course brake run without slowing down. Next is a downwards helix. By the end of it, you get some decent positive Gs. This is followed by a mellow rightward turn and a gentle rise upwards. This leads to another downwards helix. This is not as fast as the prior 2 helixes, but it still offers okay laterals and some minor Gs for much of it. Then the end is a sharp snap towards the station, offering one last surge of laterals. Then you hit the brakes and slam to a stop. Again, brace yourself for this. You then disembark, ending the 1,604 foot or 489 meter long experience. I was surprised to find out it had that little track length. This coaster's duration felt far longer than that. So, what would I rate Azteca? I would give this coaster a 6 out of 10. This is a decent coaster. It has a beautiful wooded setting, relatively smooth track work, and some spots of laterals and positive Gs. It is not a standout ride by any means, but it's a nice supporting coaster that can be appreciated by everyone. It compares similarly to a Mine Train coaster in my opinion. Those are my thoughts on Azteca at Lapal. What are your thoughts on this coaster? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you consider subscribing, because there will be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canobie Coaster. Thanks for watching.